This is so good. I think Kaya's upset because she's not getting any. Hi, and welcome back to Veggies by EOS. As you can tell from the title of the video, this week I'm going to be reviewing Green Chef, which is, you know, like HelloFresh, all of those delivery food services. But the reason why I purchased it and the reason why I'm doing this video is because my sister gave me a huge discount code. It was for $55 off. If she still has the discount code or if I can get that discount code, if possible, I'll link it below, but can't guarantee that because it's a pretty big discount. So I ended up paying about $25. It's usually around $70, $75, something like that. They have like these extra fees. Actually, I think it was just shipping, but like the shipping was $12 or something like that. Right off the bat, I will say, without even trying the food, I think if you're gonna be paying the full price, absolutely too expensive, not worth it. Which is why I've never tried one of these before, because even with the like usual discounts, they're still expensive, but this discount was pretty good, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it. So I have my meals right here. Actually, before we even talk about the food, I do want to mention the packaging. I mean, I understand they have to package it really well so that like the food stays cold, and I understand that, but in my opinion, it's a waste of plastic, a waste of like, I'm just throwing all that stuff out. The stuff that's inside, like it's something wrapped in plastic, so I don't even think you can recycle that. Well, I'll be honest, if I lived in Illinois, I would have thrown it in my recycling bin, but here you need to separate plastics from, and you need to separate different types of plastics too. Like, it's kind of crazy in Texas. You need to separate all your recycling stuff, so I genuinely don't think I can recycle that here. Also, I don't think you can recycle cardboard here, which kind of sucks, but it is more important to recycle plastic and glass, just in general, FYI, if you didn't know that. So if you're not recycling right now, at least recycle plastic and glass. But that's another thing, you can't even recycle glass here, so it's stupid. So anyway, for where I live right now, I can't really recycle what was sent to me with Shucks. For that aspect alone, personally, I wouldn't purchase this. Even if it was totally worth the money and cheap and everything, I don't like the fact that that much stuff is going to waste. Anyway, back to our meals. So I got to pick them. That is one good thing. You do get to pick your meals. It's not like they were just random. And I did do the vegetarian option. They all claim they're 2 servings, so I'll update you if they actually are. And then cook times range from 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and then 40, which for me personally, that is way too long. Like, I do not want to be cooking something for 40 minutes. That's just my opinion. Some of you might not care, but I'm gonna start with cooking one tonight. I'm not gonna do that one because I don't feel like spending 40 minutes cooking. Or is it like you're just waiting? Is that why it takes so long? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I guess I'll update you guys with each recipe. This one looks really good. This one looks really good too. I'm not really sure what this is, if we're being completely honest, so I'll probably make this one last. These ones are very appealing, and I like that they take a little bit less time. I just flipped it over. Like, I was just gonna show you guys, oh, I'm gonna cook this one tonight. I flipped it over, and there's like very detailed instructions, so that's, honestly, it looks kind of confusing. It won't be that confusing. I'll be fine. So I'm gonna make this one tonight because this one looks the best. So it's the Mediterranean pressed sandwiches. Artichokes, red peppers, sun-dried tomatoes, and feta kale salad. I'm not the biggest fan of artichokes, but like when it's mixed in with stuff, it's fine. So once I'm ready to cook dinner, probably in an hour or so, I will show you the finished product and I'll give you kind of a review of, did it actually make 2 servings, and you know, how good was it? Do I think it's worth the money? But yeah, right off the bat, like, these are way too expensive if you're paying the full price. I would like to know who actually pays the full price for these services, because they are absurd. I get that like they give you the exact amount of all the ingredients, which is convenient, but I'm really good about not throwing food out. I very, very rarely let things rot and like have to throw them out. So I get that some people aren't good at doing that, so if you're the type of person that you're constantly throwing food out because it's going bad, this might be good for you and maybe potentially save you money. But in my opinion, for me, this is just a ripoff. I will let you know if the sale price, I think for the sale price, it's worth it. I don't know. I'm not even sure if it's, they look like pretty fancy meals. That's the thing. I would never buy all these ingredients and make them. Maybe I would. No, I probably wouldn't. That is another thing I'm thinking about, doing a video, like recreating these, going to the store, buying these ingredients and recreating them and seeing if I can recreate it to taste the same, and or how much does it cost to like buy the ingredients, because like I was saying before, some of this stuff you're gonna have to buy more of the amount than it actually calls for. But some of the stuff like kale, oh, red kale, I didn't even know red kale was a thing, but the picture it's green. That's confusing.
You're confusing.
But the picture it's green. Like, for example, I have kale in my fridge right now. That's something I wouldn't have even needed to go buy, but pretty much everything else on here. Oh, I also have walnuts. Everything else on here I would have needed to buy. I'm pretty excited to try this one because I think this one looks really good. Before I even show you what it looked like, I pretty severely burned the sandwiches. It was pretty bad. It was my fault because for the vegetables, you're supposed to have it on medium-high heat, and then you're supposed to turn it down to medium for the sandwiches, and I just kind of brushed that over. So that's my bad. The sandwiches were still pretty good. Obviously, they would have tasted better if they weren't burned. Honestly, the salad was really good. Actually, I want to figure out what dressing that was and like see if I can buy that dressing, because the dressing was really good. I usually just use ranch on my kale, and that one really went with kale really well. But like the walnuts, I have walnuts, I could just mash them up. The apricots, like I don't need to put apricot on my salad. Overall, it was definitely good, and it did feel like a fancier meal, but I don't know if it was worth it. Well, here, I did the math, and it cost $4.32 per meal, which is pretty cheap, but like essentially it was just a sandwich and a salad. So I mean, I feel like if you buy stuff in bulk, you could definitely make a sandwich and a salad for a lot cheaper than $4. I will say, if you're used to like going out to eat and you're doing this instead of going out to eat, then it's a good idea. Although this price is based off of my super sale price. I'm pretty sure it usually costs like $12. Or wait, I'm actually not sure. It's definitely usually more than double this price, so it's at least $9. I don't know the exact price that it, like the normal price, but yeah, for the normal price, not even close to being worth it, like at all. I feel like it's barely worth it at the sale price, like, because again, it was essentially a sandwich and a salad for $4. And it did come with 2 servings, so like I have my other serving in the fridge, but I mean like per serving $4. So like for the 2 servings that I just made, it was like $9. Was it like fancier than something I would normally make? Yes, but again, for a sandwich and a salad, I still think that's kind of expensive. Oh yeah, also, it was supposed to be like an artichoke sandwich, and they literally didn't give me the artichokes. I'm pretty sure that usually doesn't happen. My sister's been using them for several weeks at least, and she hasn't had that happen to her. So of course, the first thing I try to make, I'm missing one of the main things. That was slightly annoying. I'm gonna like try to call or message their customer service to see. The thing is, they're probably gonna like offer me a discount on my next box, but I am like, I've already decided I'm for sure not buying it again, so that kind of sucks. I will say it was pretty easy to make, and it did, like it said 25 minutes. It actually took me about 23 minutes because I try to go like real fast. Not that I hate cooking, I just like don't like spending time cooking. So it was accurate on the time, I will say that. In terms of how big the meal was, I did eat more food. Like if this would have been lunch, I would have just eaten it and gone about my day and probably had a snack like 2 hours later. But since it's dinner, I don't like to eat past like 8 p.m. What time is it now? Yeah, like it's 7:45 p.m. I usually try to eat dinner around 7 and do not eat past 8 p.m. I knew that it wasn't going to keep me completely full for the rest of the night, so I did go ahead and have a little bit more food. I feel like the point of these is to be a dinner, and in my opinion, I don't think that was enough food for a dinner. That's just my opinion. Because that's the whole point of these things, to be like a whole meal. You shouldn't have to add food to your dinner. To be fair, it was just a sandwich and a salad, so maybe my other 2 dinners will actually be more of a dinner. So I'll keep you updated on that. But yeah, so far, I would say I'm not that impressed. Besides the fact I burned it, I mean, it was good, but not that good of a deal. You're wasting a ton of packaging. Like I threw out so much stuff. Like the little walnuts were in a little bag, the little apricots were in a little bag, like everything was in a little bag, which like I get that they have to do that for what this is, but in my opinion that's so much waste. And some of them I put in the recycling, but some had like red pepper all over it, and I was like, I can't really like recycle this, there's food all over it. I really don't like that aspect of it. Again, if you're the type of person that wastes like a ton of food, then maybe this is less wasteful. I mean, that's sad, but I know that some people are like that. But again, I don't really waste food. So to me, this is extremely wasteful. Definitely not going to repurchase. Here is recipe number 2. So this is the Japanese vegetable fritters, and right off the bat, before I even taste it, I will say it is definitely worth the money. Like, this one might even be worth like the actual price, not just the sale price. So for sure worth the sale price. There were just so many different ingredients. I mean, granted, some of it's like rice and broccoli, which isn't that expensive, but just this meal altogether is much more sophisticated than the other one. But going off of that, it was a little bit more annoying to make. It took longer and it just was a little bit stressful. Like, it wasn't hard to make, but it was a little bit stressful. They said it should take about 40 minutes and it did take me about 37. So I did fall short on this one as well. But like I said, like, there was something. It said to add about 1.5 tablespoons of the one sauce, like, before you mix it in at the end or whatever, and I just eyeballed that. Like, some stuff like that I don't actually measure out, so that's probably why it took me a little bit less time. To be fair, you also have to factor in like dishes. I didn't do any dishes and I have a ton. Like, this, I don't think I've ever used this many dishes to cook something in my life. It took me 37 minutes to make, but how long is it gonna take me to do the dishes? But here we have, and like, honestly, it looks sophisticated. It honestly, I'm pretty excited to try it. I'm gonna try the fritter first. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's called a Japanese vegetable fritter. Okay. Not as good as I was expecting, but it is definitely good. It's basically just made of like egg, cabbage, and carrots, and something else. I don't really remember. Oh, flour. Which, at first when I was reading it, I will say, the sauce is really good. I really like this sauce. So I need to figure out if you can buy the sauces other places. Dressing from the salad last time was really good, like one of the best salad dressings I've ever had, honestly. And this sauce, not really sure what else I could use it for, but it's really good. Got some broccoli. This is like a high quality meal. This is really good. And just everything, I just got ginger on my table. Everything mixed together. I would never make a meal this nice on my own. I actually might try to recreate this one. I've already decided I'm not going to recreate the first one. I mean, I can make my own salad. I can make my own sandwich. It doesn't have to be with all the stuff that... It wasn't that great of a recipe. Like, it was good, but I wouldn't recreate it. This was good. I would recreate this for sure. 100%. The rice and edamame, ginger. My only complaint with this is that it did take quite a while to make, and I made a lot of dishes, so I'm not looking forward to doing those. This is so good. This is actually really good. This is probably going to be my favorite one. And I even have leftovers for tomorrow. What I personally did was, while I was like cooking everything, like once the rice was done, I put like half of the rice on my plate and half of the rice in a Tupperware container. All of my leftovers are ready to go. I already put it in the fridge. Speaking of leftovers, the leftovers from the sandwich and salad was good. I mean, the salad, obviously, it was a salad. But the sandwich, I just heated it up in the microwave for like a minute, I think, and it was fine. It was still really good, which that is important. I know some people make these for themselves and someone else, and some people make these for themselves, have the rest for leftovers the next day. Leftovers tasting good is very important, so I will update you if the leftovers for this are good or not. I don't see why they wouldn't be. I'm sure they will be, but I'll still update you. The leftovers for my first meal, those were good. I'm gonna keep this card, and I'm gonna, like, honestly, there's so many ingredients that's gonna be annoying to shop for all the ingredients. But I will say, I'm definitely going to make this again one day. Probably not for a while because I'm lazy, but trust me, it's gonna happen. This is really good. I'll update you tomorrow when I have the leftovers of this, which I'm really excited for. I'm telling you, this is such a good meal. I'll see you tomorrow. Update on the leftovers. They were very, very good. Like, pretty much tasted the same as when I originally made it. So that is a very good thing. I'll have to keep you updated on the leftovers for the third meal, but so far the leftovers for both meals have been very good, which that's a really good thing, because I know some people really do like want to buy it for themselves and they're wondering, well, are the leftovers even going to taste good? And yes. So answer to that question, yes, they taste very good. Kaya? She just got stung by a red ant, but she seems to be doing okay. Here is my meal number 3. It honestly looks really good. We have some rice and some vegetable mixtures, which I don't like mushrooms, and there are mushrooms in here, but since they're cooked together with a bunch of other vegetables, I'm sure they'll be fine. And this big block of cheese, and then some stuff drizzled on top. I forgot what that was. And then some pumpkin seeds also drizzled on top. Oh, look, you can kind of see Kaya. Kaya! Oh no. She thinks she's like doing something. Okay, I'm very excited to try this. Oh, I just realized the timer's still going on my phone, which this one, I checked the time like before. It definitely took longer than the 30 minutes it suggested, but oh man, yeah, I cooked this a lot. That is really good. The cheese part is really good. The vegetable part is good, but I mean, it's just vegetables. I got a bite of the vegetables with that sauce on top. Very good. The rice is also very, very good with this sauce. Their sauces are so good. I need to figure out like where you can buy either the exact sauce or similar duplicates of these sauces, because let me tell you, they are so good. This is for sure a 10 out of 10 meal. Totally 100% worth it in terms of the sale price, but you know, again, their regular price is so much more expensive. This one too, though, I would say might even be worth the sale or the regular price just because it's so good. I really need to find this sauce. I could spice up some like really easy and simple meals just by adding the sauce alone. This sauce is so good. I don't even want to turn the camera off because I just want to keep eating. This is so good. I think Kaya's upset because she's not getting any. Seriously, I think this one, I really liked the last one, but I think I like this one better. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I guess we started off this video on a bad note. Like, not that the first meal was bad. It wasn't. It was good. Well, besides the fact that I burned it really badly. Overall takeaway, the second and third meal were phenomenal, 10 out of 10, amazing. The first meal was just a sandwich and a salad, which I feel like wasn't that fancy, and like anyone can make a sandwich and a salad. Meal number 2 and 3, I am definitely going to have to try to recreate because they are so good. I don't know where you can buy cheese like this. It was basically just 2 slabs of cheese that I like fried, so I guess you can do that with any cheese. I will say, even though that was a pretty simple meal, I mean, it was essentially just vegetables and rice and fried cheese with sauce on top and pumpkin seeds. But even though it was pretty simple, that I think that's one of the best meals I've ever cooked. Kaya. The only complaint is I feel like it wasn't enough food for a meal. Like, I'm still kind of hungry. And I do have a problem with, like, overeating because, like, I won't be hungry, but then, you know, because your body takes 20 minutes to actually get hungry. So I don't know if I'll feel hungry in 20 minutes still, but I am still a little hungry. I'm eating at a weird time. It's literally 2:40. I don't know how it's that late. So I'm not going to eat anything else now since I'm going to have dinner relatively soon. But that is my one complaint about this meal. I don't feel like it was actually a full serving. So in terms of the serving, the first meal was definitely like not a full serving. The second meal was like very good in terms of serving. And this one was just a little bit not enough, but pretty much I think it was okay. One other thing to mention, the red pepper came cut in half because you only need half of a red pepper for this. And so they literally gave you a half of a red pepper, like it was cut in half. And since it was cut in half, it actually kind of went a little bit bad. I'll show you some clips of it. And to be fair, at this point I've had it for a week because I ordered it last Friday and today is Friday. So, I mean, that's kind of obvious. A red pepper that's cut in half like that is going to go a little bit bad in a week. Although, if I had known a red pepper was in there, I probably would have made that meal first or second, because I feel like the other ingredients for both other meals are things that could have like waited longer, whereas the red pepper, I mean, as you could see, it didn't look the hottest, but I cut those parts off and I still used most of it, so it still worked totally fine. All I have to say is that meal was really good, but I'm definitely not like 100% full. I guess just as a little takeaway conclusion is it is worth the sale price. I would say it's probably not worth the full price unless you're the type of person that like just doesn't have time to go to the grocery store, which I don't know. I am a grad student and I have time to go to the grocery store. I used to be a teacher and I had time to go to the grocery store. So I feel like everyone has time to go to the grocery store. So I don't think that's very valid. Unless someone physically can't go to the grocery store due to a disability. That makes sense. That is totally valid. That's really the only thing I can think of. Also, with COVID going on, I will say, like, if you don't want to go out because of COVID, that makes sense. So that is valid as well. COVID's getting worse. Can't believe people don't know how to wear masks. But anyway, my only other complaint is it is pretty wasteful in terms of the packaging. You're gonna be wasting a lot of stuff. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if you usually waste a bunch of food and you wanna get this so that you're not wasting food, like that's good that you're not wasting food, but you're gonna be wasting a bunch of plastic and all this stuff instead. So I personally wouldn't say that that's better, unless you're wasting like tons and tons of food. I don't know. But thank you for watching. If you want me to do any other similar videos to this and try other things, just let me know in the comments below. But I will go ahead and see you next week, which I will be doing a what I eat in a week next week. See you next week for the what I eat in a week. Bye.